All right. Welcome back. Let's back this up a little bit. Let's back it up a little bit. I want you all to relax, taking a deep breath, and get ready to be taken on an adventure. Yes. This is my writing music for calming connections, okay? I'm gonna get right into it. Let's minimize this. Let's go ahead and minimize this. And let's get right into Bajillion. Down a little bit. Chapter 4. Back at it. Back at home, Mrs. Wallace, Sonia, and Lily were all in the garage getting things prepared for Suge's big night. So far, 5 people had shown up. People from the neighborhood who'd heard about the get-together and decided that free food... Alright, I had to put my headphones in because for some reason these headphones get unplugged and it's halfway in and halfway out and I sound like a robot and I don't know why. Let's start back over. Chapter 4. Back at home, Mrs. Wallace, Sonia, and Lily were all in the garage getting things prepared for Suge's big night. So far, 5 people had shown up. People from the neighborhood who'd heard about the get-together and decided that free food was a lot better than having to cook themselves. Let's say cook for themselves. You don't cook. All right. Colorful balloons and ribbons were strung up in various locations of the garage and along the front of the home, adding to the decor. That should be a period there. I don't know if I changed this already. Colorful balloons and ribbons were strung up in various locations of the garage and along the front of the home. Adding to the decor were the words 80th birthday, Suge. Let me see. Adding to the decor were the words happy 80th birthday, Suge. Let's go ahead and change this up a little bit. Happy 80th birthday. To make it really... Go ahead and bold letters. Okay. Adding to the decor were the words Happy 80th Birthday Suge in equally colorful bold letters staked in the front yard. Okay, let's say staked in the front yard first. Adding to the decor I don't have to say adding to the decor, just staked in the front yard. Staked in the front yard. I know I wanna leave decor because it's fancy, right? But that's telling instead of showing. You know what I mean? Colorful balloons and ribbons were strung up in various locations of the garage and along the front of the home, staked in the front yard were the words Happy 80th Birthday, Suge, in equally colorful bold letters. Okay. At a modest volume, old school. Let's see, old school. That's not one word. No. And this thing is loud, isn't it? It doesn't need to be that loud. All right, I'm gonna start it from the top, y'all. Chapter 4. Back at home, Mrs. Wallace, Sonia, Lily. Back at home, Mrs. Wallace, Sonia, and Lily were all in the garage getting things prepared for Suge's big night. So far, 5 people had shown up. People from the neighborhood who'd heard about the get-together and decided that free food was a lot better than having to cook for themselves. Colorful balloons and ribbons were strung up in various locations of the garage and along the front of the home. Staked in the front yard were the words "Happy 80th Birthday" in equally colorful bold letters. Okay. At a modest volume, old school R&B was heard, playing from the flashing Bluetooth speakers. Though the speakers were capable of blaring bass throughout the neighborhood, Edna decided not to blast them out of worry that some of the neighbors would complain. Despite the fact, tunes like "This Is How We Do It" by Montel Jordan and "It Takes Two" by Rob Bass and DJ Easy Rock were priming the scene for good vibes to come. The aroma of the food, on the other hand, was permeating from a mile away. There was no way to turn down the smell, but if there were, Edna would have eagerly turned up the volume and perhaps used an industrial-sized fan to blow the smell in the direction of all of those who thought they were too good to be a part of the afternoon festivities. It was Suge's birthday, and for those who knew the man and had any good sense, knew that being there that night would have been the perfect way to pay homage to the gardening legend. The party had been the Wallace's way of paying tribute. It was the least they could do. There were so many people who knew the hero behind the humble face. Turning 80 years old was a very important milestone for Mr. John Suge White, for Mr. John White, aka Suge. For Mr. John White. Mr. John White, aka Suge, and the people of Green Pond. On fold-out tables that stood against the garage wall were silver chafers with burners underneath, allowing steam to keep everything warm. The display of food looked nothing less than a feast fit for a king. There were dishes of all sorts neatly placed in bowls and platters earlier in the day, and somehow, while preparing a lovely spread, Edna and Sonia had done an immaculate cleaning of the area. There wasn't a speck of dust or a cobweb anywhere to be found. Out on display, certainly not for early consumption, according to Edna, was a dish of creamy macaroni casserole, barbecue ribs. Out on display, certainly not for early consumption, according to Edna, were dishes. When I say was a dish of creamy macaroni, when I say was a dish of creamy macaroni casserole, it sounds like all of this stuff is in one dish. So I gotta say were dishes. Oh yeah, I hope y'all paying attention, man. I'm just teaching y'all how to write. That's me not being not humble. Were dishes. Were dishes of creamy macaroni carousel. I keep saying carousel. Alright. Out on display, certainly not for early consumption, according to Edna, were dishes of creamy macaroni casserole, barbecue ribs, fried chicken, collard greens, potato salad, dirty rice, corn on the cob, deviled eggs, cornbread, apple and lemon meringue pie, and apple. Let's put some smothered turkey wings in there too. Smothered turkey wings. Smothered turkey wings. Any rice in it? Oh, dirty rice. Oh, dirty rice. Let's put some yellow rice in it too. Yellow rice. Yeah, we're not gonna have. All right. Can you smell it? Can you smell what I'm cooking? Out on display, certainly not for early consumption, according to Edna, were dishes of creamy macaroni casserole. I'm not used to saying casserole because we don't call it macaroni casserole, or we don't call it mac and cheese. Okay, we don't call it mac and cheese here in South Carolina. We call it macaroni. That's it. But I'm trying to write for people who wouldn't understand the lingo. So I'm saying macaroni carousel. I keep saying carousel. Macaroni casserole. I'm trying to find a middle ground for those who call it mac and cheese and for those who call it macaroni. So I'm saying macaroni casserole, hoping that people would get what I'm talking about. But we call it macaroni here in this part of South Carolina. Maybe not in all of South Carolina, but in Dorchester, South Carolina, Ridgeville, Somerville, Charleston, okay, St. George, Reedsville, we call it macaroni. Harleyville, macaroni. That's all we say. If you say macaroni, we know what you want. Okay. Out on display, certainly not for early consumption, according to Edna, were dishes of creamy macaroni casserole, barbecue ribs, fried chicken, collard greens, potato salad, dirty rice, yellow rice, corn on the cob, deviled eggs, smothered turkey wings, cornbread, apple and lemon. Apple and lemon pie. I gotta put one more thing. And let me see. One more thing. This is a feast, so I might have one more thing. Plus, when I say cornbread, apple, and lemon meringue pie, or I could just say apple pie and lemon meringue pie. Yeah, I could just say that. Apple pie and lemon meringue pie. All right, that's good. Oh, where's the cake? Oh, no, I can't. Gotta have a cake. It's his birthday party. You see how much it's a lot of detail that goes into writing a book. A lot of detail. It's even more detail in publishing that book, editing that book, getting doing the jacket, the book cover. So much work goes into a book, and I want to show you guys something real quick. I had someone, a very special person, yesterday when I went into this one account. As a matter of fact, this is how this whole thing happened. I lie to you not. Sunday night, today's Tuesday. Sunday night, I'm on my couch right over here, doing some stuff for work. It was going to be my first day. Yesterday was my first day back at work after being off for a whole week. So I had to get some things done, send some emails and all these different things. And I thought of this certain person who's been like more than a fan. Like she's an older lady, but she's really, really helped me out as far as book sales and all that stuff. So I thought about her. As soon as I thought about her, ding, my phone rings. I hadn't thought about this person in a long time. And the message was, "Are you coming to this account tomorrow?" Because this is the account that she works at. I'm like, wow, this is crazy. So, long story short, I thought about her. Then she texted me. So when I get to the account yesterday, I didn't want to go directly to her because you got people watching and all these different things, and this particular job that I was going to do has been an ongoing thing. So I didn't want to make it seem like I wasn't being serious about fixing this issue. But she came over, gave me a hug, and I was like, okay, good to see you and all that stuff. And then maybe 30 minutes later, she came back with a picture, but it was covered up. And it reminded me of a time my best friend. Let me show you the picture first. I'll get back to the best friend. Y'all hold tight. Can y'all see that? I know it has a glare, but this is I didn't mean to take away from the session, but that's a picture of my my third book published, Mech. It's a sci-fi, my version of a sci-fi. And it's beads. Those are beads. It looks pixelated, but those are beads. I don't even know how many beads it took to make that picture, but she had that commissioned by a friend of hers. And I saw it and I was like, oh my God, that's so beautiful. Anyways, I mean, it just, I'm still speechless. I'm looking at it right now. I have been for quite some time, you know, y'all see the views on my video right now. On these videos, I'm getting like 3 or 4 views every now and then. So my motivation, I don't want to say it was in the hole, but it wasn't as high as it should be. And I saw when she brought that picture out yesterday, I'm like, oh my God, this is too much right here. This is beautiful. I say all that to say, thank you, Miss Kathy, again. I don't know if you even watch these videos, but thank you again. And something very similar happened. And this is why I know this lady is somebody special. Something similar happened to, I can't take that. I can't show you the other picture. I got it hanging up in my living room. It's about 20 feet up in the air. I have 24, I think I have vaulted ceilings in my living room. But the picture is I can show you a picture real quick. I can show you what it is. Okay, so this picture right here. Y'all. Alright, so my wife and I, we were walking downtown through the market. And we walked past this picture. We walked past it and I skimmed it. I skimmed it with my eyes. And I stopped in my tracks. And my wife said, "What's wrong?" I said, "Hold on, let me look at this picture here." So I went back and I looked at this picture. I went back to look at it. And this is it's called the Sentinel, I guess. You can't see okay. And the painting is by Edward Clay Wright Jr. You can't get no crazier than that. Edward Clay Wright Jr. Alright, so I stop and I look at this picture and I say, man, and I told my wife, I said, man, that's me, my best friend, Edwards, and these are all guys I was in the military with, and my other friend, Isabella. That's us. I lied to you not. And said I didn't think anything about it. I didn't think anything else about it, right? That Christmas, my best friend Edward showed up with the painting. And when he brought it out, I didn't think anything about it. It was wrapped up just like that one was wrapped up. I couldn't see the picture. And he was like, "Look, man, I know, you know what I'm saying, you know, we best friends and all this stuff, blah, blah, blah. But man, I think you're gonna like this picture a lot." And when he took off, well, I think I might have taken it off. I don't know, but when it was uncovered and I saw what it was, I speechless. So I say all that, man, to say, man, sometimes, you know, a picture goes a long way, man. Anyways, let me get back to the story. I'm already at 20 minutes. So let's get back to the story. Y'all hold tight. So to add to that, the name of the artist was Edward Clay Wright. Edwards is my best friend. My uncle, who I grew up with, he's more like a big brother. He's only like 2-3 years older than me. His name is Clay. And I'm a writer. You know what I mean? Anyways, let's get back to where I was there. All right. Out on display, certainly not for early consumption, according to Edna, were dishes of macaroni, creamy macaroni carousel. Oh my God, y'all gonna think I am dyslexic. I mean, not dyslexic, but I do have a learning disability. So y'all don't fault me too much. I did write this, by the way. So out on display, certainly not for early consumption, according to Edna, were dishes of creamy macaroni casserole, barbecue ribs, fried chicken, collard greens, potato salad, dirty rice, yellow rice, corn on the cob, deviled eggs, smothered turkey wings, cornbread, apple pie, and lemon meringue pie. With as many as 50 people expected to show up, some bringing more food, there would be several plates to take back home after the festivities. Though the sun was now setting on the horizon, outside the garage, away from the music, the sound of ruffling oak leaves could be heard as a cool October breeze was coming in. "Sonia, bring back some cornmeal. I believe I see your brother and daddy walking up with the fish." Some ways down the freshly scraped dirt road, Edna saw her husband and son carrying the fishing rods and buckets. Watching her boy struggle with the heavy bucket, she shook her head. No, that doesn't sound. She shook her head. With pride. She shook her head with pride. "You want to rest?" asked Henry, knowing good and well the boy wouldn't dare stop and take a breath this close to home. Someone from the party might see him and think that he was weak. Alright, you don't have to say that. It's pretty obvious, you know. "Go ahead, stop," a voice came from within. "Nobody's looking. Just put it down a few seconds and stop." "Son, did you hear me? You can stop whenever you feel like it." With those words, his right arm began feeling like it was being pulled from its socket. The boy started questioning his own strength. Surely he could do this. They'd stopped 3 times already. The time to rest was then, not now. He heard his father, but feared opening his mouth to lie. Truth be told, he was in pain, extreme pain, but the wrong words could stop him in his tracks. As he continued on, ignoring the pain, the way an injured athlete would when a championship game was on the line, it seemed the closer they got, the heavier the bucket grew. Finally, he managed to swing the container in front of him to his left hand, but not without splashing pond water all over his shoes. "Just put it down, man. You don't have nothing to prove. Besides, nobody's looking," said the voice. "Jake," his father called. "Huh?" the boy answered. "Did you hear a word I said?" "Oh, I'm fine. I can make it," Jacob replied. "You sure?" asked his father. "Yeah, I'm stronger than you think," he said as the burn in his right arm traveled up to his shoulder, across his chest to his left. "I see we have a crowd already," said Henry. As they approached the garage, his eyes were fixated on a man he hadn't seen in over 2 years. "Yeah," said Jacob, he too glaring at the familiar face. "Hey, is that?" "Looks like it is," said Henry. Father and son were surprised to see, seated on the wooden picnic table that had been placed in the middle of the garage, Lily and her biological father. What are you saying, biological? She doesn't have a stepfather. Lily and her father, Frederick Sr. Upon entering the space, alongside. Upon entering the space, pride. You see, the problem with rereading things is you oftentimes, like you see, I have the word pride here. I think I automatically remember that pride goes somewhere. So up here, when I had Edna watching her son, it was grin, and I changed it to pride. Let's see, let's activate the thesaurus, a synonym. American. Delight. Yeah. She shook her head. Alright, let's see. Watching her boy struggle with the heavy bucket, she shook her head. With concern, let's say concern. You know, because a mom is a little bit more worried about certain things, so it wouldn't be pride. Anyways. Alright. Upon entering the space alongside. Upon entering the space. Entering the space. Entering the space with a long sigh of relief after putting down the heavy buckets, a feeling of pride flooded little Jacob's body. Yes, that's right. With all eyes on him carrying the bucket, a gratified smile appeared on his face. He'd made it. Not carrying the bucket anymore. He put down the bucket. He said he put down the bucket. So, anyways, entering the space with a long sigh of relief after putting down the heavy bucket, a feeling of pride flooded little Jacob's body. With all eyes on him, a gratified smile appeared on his face. He'd made it. Well, goodness, said Henry as he put down his own bucket. With a surprised glare, his eyes were locked on the familiar face, Frederick White. Just look at what the wind blew in, Henry laughed. Yeah, I guess you can say that, replied Freddie. Let's say Frederick. Yeah, boy. Yeah, I guess you can say that, replied Frederick. Now standing while straddling the bench, Fred and Henry shook hands and embraced the way two black men do as a sign of respect and admiration. Next, as a sign of respect. As a sign of respect and admiration, or as a greeting. As a sign. Now standing while straddling the bench, Fred and Henry shook hands and embraced the way two black men do as a greeting. Next, it was Jacob's turn to greet the near stranger. Though shaking hands with Mr. Fred had caused the boy more pain, he didn't show it. As the two men started catching up on the happenings in their lives, Fred not being completely honest, Henry assuming as much by the avoidance of eye contact, Lily assumed the normal position of harassing Jacob. Alright, let's make this green. We're gonna keep on moving. We're just gonna keep on tracking. Keep on tracking. Make that black again. And we'll pick it back up in the green tomorrow, y'all. Let's go ahead and save this. Anyways, thank y'all for stopping by. This is Anthony L. Kelly. It's been 31 minutes, 31, almost 32 minutes. Till next time, I'm out.